On account of the recent surge in demand for XRP, I was interested in gaining a better understanding of the quantity of XRP that is now available for purchase on exchanges all around the world. What is it, 5 billion or 10 billion? Is it a greater amount? Is it a lower amount? I put forth the effort to find a solution to that issue today, and I was successful in doing so. It is possible that the facts will startle you. When I initially realized this, my initial reaction was, there is no way to do that. Consequently, I invested an additional 2 hours on verifying this material, and the contents of this are going to blow your mind. On this particular day, I decided to carry out this activity since I was conducting research for another film. In the course of my study, I came across this. As you can see, I have a number of videos that I am now working on, and you can watch them here. From what I could tell, however, there were around 1,400 smart contracts that were implemented on the XRP EVM sidechain in the first week. Do you agree that this represents a fresh demand for XRP? People who are interested in Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana are beginning to learn that there is more to XRP than they initially believed, and as a result you begin to wonder about it. How much is left over for them to purchase, or how much is left over that gives me the opportunity to continue adding to it? Before we get into that information, let's go ahead and dive in. Now is the time to have that problem solved, shall we? I'm going to make a pledge to you today. In this video, I will provide you with all of the information that you require. Just keep an eye on everything. It would be helpful if you could click the like button. In addition, if you believe that this is a nice film and would like to share it with someone else, you are more than welcome to do so. YouTube is ruled by you as the leader. It would be possible for you to assist me in putting this film in front of millions of people if you truly wanted to. In order for you to follow through with that, I want a like as well as a remark. Let's have a look at some of the most important results on the departure of XRP from exchanges during the past 6 to 12 months, because I am also quite interested in gaining an understanding of this topic. The most important findings are as follows. Significant movement occurred in XRP both onto and off of exchanges in 2024, with substantial spikes in both inflows and outflows driven by price rises. This movement occurred both on and off exchanges. So once people figured out that Ripple was going to make it through this, right, with a fine and a slap on the wrist, and XRP being treated not as a security, that is something that drove more people into the XRP ledger. This resulted in the creation of new demand, as well as new builders within the XRP ecosystem. What is very good about it is that the more DeFi and the more projects you have that utilize XRP or RLUSD in those protocols, the less XRP will be floating about the wide openness of exchanges or people trying to sell it, right? This is something that is really cool. Because XRP will be utilized on each and every one of these ecosystems, and because it will be utilized inside these protocols, which is precisely what we want. This thing is going to freaking Mars if we have 5 or 10,000 additional builders in the XRP space, right? There is no way around it. In this moment, that is the subject that I am most interested in. There have been moments of significant outflows, which are tokens leaving exchanges, as well as instances of strong inflows, which are tokens submitted to exchanges with the possibility of being sold. The monthly exchange flows for 2025 have been variable. The reason why individuals are moving their XRP on and off exchanges is either to purchase more, which is correct, to buy more XRP, or to sell their XRP so that they may use it for anything else. Here are the highlights of the year 2024. In the year 2024, the amount of money that was invested and poured into XRP items increased by 438 million. This is a rise of 2,433% from the year 2023. Using growth from one year to the next, you just showed how significant this may be. Seeing where we are going to be by the end of the year 2025 is an interesting prospect. Here are the most significant outflows. Beginning in October 2024 and continuing until June 2025, more than 1 billion XRP coins were removed from exchanges. Consequently, 1 billion XRP that was left on exchanges was purchased, and users moved those XRP into wallets that are similar to ledgers, treasure chests or any other form of wallets that they own themselves. Additionally, there is a significant amount of whale activity. In the year 2024, exchanges received a spot inflow of $24056 million. The pressure to sell that comes from large holdings is significant. In other words, there are a lot of individuals that kept a lot of XRP and were waiting for it to move to $2 or $3 so that they could make some profit, and those people did make some profit. Following that, this discusses some details on the DIX. However, the next statement was the one that truly got my attention. The fact that I wanted to work out this situation caused me to go into a tailspin today for a number of hours. It is stated that more than 1 billion XRP was taken out. There was a decrease in the quantity of XRP coins on controlled exchanges, which went from 44.4 billion to 3.3 billion. I was thinking to myself, wait a second. The amount of XRP that is still available for purchase on exchanges is only 3.3 billion. I said that would not be possible. When looking at the wealthy list, you will notice that there are 64 billion XRP in circulation worldwide. To put it another way, you are telling me that only about 5% or 3% of the circulating amount of XRP is truly accessible for individuals to purchase. Is it a correct quote? Okay, so here we are. Proceed with the verification of this information, shall we? Having said that, I took a look at this and I said to myself, I'm trying to obtain a concrete estimate on how much XRP is still available on the open market to be purchased from exchanges. Are you in possession of any of that information that we could look at? As a result of the fact that I work on Perplexity around the clock, very much for the purpose of exploring this stuff, I say we now because it is genuinely assisting me. And so I have no idea, that's just how strange I am. In July of 2025, XRP will be accessible on exchanges. Those stats for this month. This is the supply that is currently in circulation. There are 3.41 billion XRP remaining among the total amount of XRP stored on exchanges. And that's it. It is over once this item has been purchased. Exchanges will no longer have any XRP accessible for purchase or sale. It is not until someone goes to sell whatever it is that they are going to sell that there will be more XRP accessible till then. It's possible that this may shift in an instant, isn't it? Because of the possibility of yet another lawsuit or the occurrence of a catastrophic event, there is a possibility that there will be a significant surge in the number of individuals selling, and this figure may increase to 5 or 10 billion. On the other side, if there is an increase in demand for the XRP ledger, if there is an increase in demand for smart contract capabilities, and if there is an increase in the number of DeFi projects, then this will result in a greater demand for XRP and a decrease in the amount of XRP that is accessible on exchanges. Now let's proceed with the process of dissecting this. Beginning at the beginning of July 2025, the total quantity of XRP coins held on controlled exchanges is around 3.41 billion. At the end of June, there were 3.23 billion XRP in circulation. This statistic represents a recent surge of 4.4 billion XRP, which indicates that additional tokens have been placed for trade in preparation for prospective sales. In point of fact, it was lower the previous month. The previous month saw a decrease in the amount of XRP that was accessible, and some individuals have been shifting XRP in order to sell it as the price of XRP approaches the $240 level. The use of 3 commas enables traders to accomplish more. Additionally, they have one of the most attractive deals that I have seen in the cryptocurrency